Power is back, and honestly, things are getting really real. NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta. Hold it down. Bring it StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh, yeah. We're coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, On Screen. The show is back. They took a week off. Had your boy worried. I was like, yo, what's going on, man? Is Starz tripping? You know what I'm saying? Is the show tripping? Is 50 Cent tripping? But everything seems cool because we're back with a brand new episode of Power. And I know there's the big thing that everybody wants to talk about, but there is some stuff inside of this episode that I do think needs to be touched on just a bit. So I'll skirt around, but we'll get to your boy. You know, we'll get to your boy at the end. But first up, I want to talk about something small with the family dinner with Tommy and Keisha, you know, Papa T and Connie. Mostly because this shows just how in way over her head Keisha is. Keisha is not made for this life. She should not be with Tommy. I do think on one hand, I do think Tommy does have some genuine feelings for her, but he is definitely, he's not good for her, and he's essentially just using her all the time. I mean, straight up, I don't know if he could properly love Keisha, even if he wanted to, because dude is kind of a psychotic killer to a certain degree. I mean, he's definitely level-headed, but he's crazy. I mean, him and his dad just shared a nice bonding moment over drilling into a man's skull, all right? Let that settle in. That is not the type of person Keisha need to be with. Straight up, Keisha, reel it in. Right now, just with your boy, this is my message to you. Keisha, move out of New York. Find yourself a nice, smaller city, but not New York. So a smaller city. Find like St. Louis, Kansas City, Pittsburgh. You go down to Richmond, Virginia. That's where I'm from. Yo, look, find yourself a nice, smaller spot. Find yourself a nice, reputable man. You know what? Keisha should be with like a dude like Silver. Square-headed dude, you know what I'm saying? But a good guy, got a square head, but he's still a good guy and means well and will treat her right and also not have her sitting in front of a grand jury. But with that said, I'm gonna move right along. We got Keisha out the way. Let's talk about your boy, that's right, Tizzy. Tate is, you know, he got that little small scene, and I like how Ghost weaved that nice little story into him, because Ghost gave him enough truth so that, you know, so that Tate be like, maybe I need to pull back from your boy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to ease up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what all this drug stuff is about. And maybe Ghost is telling the truth. You know, he did fire him. That was true. He did fire him. You know, he was selling drugs out of the club. That is also true. But he withheld some stuff, but he withheld the right stuff because you need Tate on your side. It's not going to hurt to have a governor on speed dial that owes you something. So, you know what I mean? Hey, look, Ghost got to do what he got to do. And Tate is kind of, you know, blackmailed into this position. So I like how Ghost played that. It was well handled. Now, speaking about Ghost, splitting off to Tasha and Angela, at the beginning of the show, Angela has a really good point about not giving yourself up or turning yourself in, because straight up, dude, the questions, any investigation, I mean, we've seen, you know, investigations in real life. When it comes to like a trial, like stuff comes out that you never thought would come out. And you don't need people picking over your life with a fine-tooth comb when you've been living a life of crime for years, all right? You don't need to turn yourself in. We gotta find someone to take the fall for this and get the heat up off your back. Now, usually, I'm not down with Angela. You know I'm not, you know there ain't no Angela fans up in here. But she's got a point. She's got a point on this one. And, you know, I mean, at least Tasha knows, like, yo, you can't turn yourself in because it's actually not going to help Tariq. It's gonna make things worse. So, you know, we got that done. We got that out of the way. Let's talk about Dre's organizational skills, because Dre wants to, like he told Ghost, he's like, the streets is mine, or I own the streets, whatever he said, how he said, you know how he said it. But anyway, talk about his boys. His boys, you know, they still feeling that heat, and they put some pettiness on him because he was like, well, why y'all ain't kill Kanan? You told me, do what you want me to do because it's your organization. You told me, unless you make the call, don't say nothing. Well, why didn't you call me? You didn't tell me to call you. Yo, all right, straight up, like those dudes is funny. I love those guys. They're both hilarious because, you know, honestly, Dre put himself in this position by at least visually valuing Cristobal over them. And, you know, from their perspective, they're like, yo, this new cat out, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so you just gonna let him run things? What about us? We've been putting in work. So I like that. I like that little back and forth check with like, hey, look, this is how you told us this was your organization. You was gonna do what you wanted to do and us only do what you say. So you didn't say nothing about Kanan, we ain't do it. So I did enjoy that. I like that a lot. But speaking about Dre, let's go on and get into Dre, of course, talking with your boy Ghost. When Dre rolled up and, you know, Ghost said he had been waiting an hour, I was like, oh, snap. Ghost looking like the old man on the block. You know what I'm saying? Ghost looked like he done lost his stuff. He's sitting around here waiting an hour for this young upstart doing his thing. But Ghost, you know, he kept his composure and he talked back and forth. Even when Dre got kind of slick with him, like, your mentee got to make some money. He still, you know, he held his own. I like how Ghost handled that scene, that interaction, because he was like, yo, look, you know what? I'm going to let you have yours because I got your number. I'm going to take care of you. So we got over the pre stuff. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll talk about one more thing before we hit the jump. Proctor. Here's my thing with Proctor. He is well within his right to be scared because there are a lot of people and a lot of moving parts in this situation that could end him up in jail when honestly he is essentially innocent. He was chilling. He had no plans to kill that dude in his house. He was just kicking it and dude ended up dead. Now, he also does know about other dead people, but that's attorney-client privilege, man. Don't worry about all that. You can't be telling people about that. And he ain't telling nobody to get killed, so it ain't really his fault. So I see where the horror comes from, especially when he doesn't feel like that conversation with his cousin. He doesn't feel like they're really as loyal to him as he is to them. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, guys, we got the normal stuff out the way. After the jump, we gonna get into you know what we gonna get into. So we're gonna move on in just a moment, but first, KURO Brand is gonna help us pay them bills. Oh yeah, check the link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. So your boy, that's right, your boy Kanan, try to teach that hustling 101, them street economics to Tariq. And straight up, I'm gonna get to Tariq in a second because he's still the most butt-whoopable child in New York. But straight up, Kanan was about to get on my nerves because I'm like, yo, this dude is straight up riding around like he has everything on lock. You can't tell him nothing. And he was getting on my nerves, and Tariq was getting more on my nerves because Tariq fired off at his mom in a way that I think should have got him Honda slapped into the wall, all right? Straight up, dude should have got them hands about 100 times all up in his chest. But we won't, look, don't be cursing at your mama, all right? Straight up, look, bringing it, if any of my younger viewers, all right, you still, especially if you're still living at home, don't you be cursing at your mama. You lost your mind, all right? You got a little attitude with your parents, all right? You better straighten up. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The whole riding around, the whole kind of taking him under his wing, and then the conversation about his son, about whether, well, I didn't know whether he was my son or not, and you know, you're not a real killer until you kill someone you love. All that stuff seemed to have a very important and very distinct effect on Tariq, especially since we don't know what's going on the other side. Because of course your girl Tasha been like, yo, this is Kanan's fault. which it is. Kanan put Dre up to this. Kanan pushed over the first domino that has pushed all us down. You know what I'm saying? So I see why Tasha feels how she feels. And she orchestrated this one, man, because that whole gun in the trunk really set things off extremely well. And that scene is something that I did not expect. I was like, hold up, there's a gun. And I was like, oh, snap. Your boy Tariq done came back home. Sort of. He's sort of back home. I think he realizes family first, you know what I'm saying? When worst come to worst, my peoples come first. But he still ain't super on board with his mom and dad. But at least he knows Kanan is an enemy. And when Kanan said, yo, I ain't going back, and Tariq said, I know. And when Kanan went out in a blaze of glory, I did not expect that. I'll be honest. This being 50 Cent's show, I straight up thought that Kanan would always be around. I never thought he would be taken out. But seeing him go out like this makes a lot of sense because, of course, you know, he's crazy. And, you know, he did say he was not going back. And apparently he truly meant that. He did. Yo, dude killed 4 cops. Straight up. Like, it won't even know premeditated. He was just like, you know what? I ain't going back. Plaka, plaka, plaka. So, look, that scene in itself blew my mind. And even to the fallout of that, when you have, how should I say, the interrogation between Tasha, you know, James, and Tariq, and to have Tariq completely pin this on Kanan, and you're just like, dag, yo, he even came out with the emotion, had a couple tears in there and all that. And I was like, yo, man, this is, wow. Like, I did not see, good on you, Tasha. You know what? Good on you, girl. I see you. You're doing some planning. You're stepping up your game. I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You orchestrated this. You and Angela or whatever put this together and you're finished. I like it. Everybody's happy. The only thing that I didn't like is the way Angela came back with the box of materials or the investigation when homegirl was like, oh, well, this is beneath me, and gave it, look, you know this girl already on your trail. Do you really want to antagonize her? Is this really the right play for you to be petty right now? What you need to do is lay low because the people in your own office already want to take you down. The best thing you can do is lay low, but you got to go gloat. You got to go gloat. Do you think gloating, let me ask you this, Angela. Do you think gloating is A, going to get her to stop, B, going to get her to stop, or C, make her try harder? You know what I'm saying? Like, Angela, what I need you to do is just sit down. This worked, and I'm glad your plan worked, but now that your plan has worked, I want you to sit down. Just sit down. You don't have to gloat in nobody's face. You ain't got to smile and smirk and hand a box back. You ain't got to do all that. Just sit down at your house. Or why don't you go back to your job and find out what other people are doing about you, all right? But just stop because you're going to make things worse. Now, speaking about, you know, making things worse, things got worse for your boy Dre real fast. Dre, I thought Tommy was going to kill him. I did. For a second, I thought Tommy was going to kill him. But we had better plans for him. We had that head in the freezer or in the fridge or whatever. And with all of them in there, you know Dre going to take, well, it's tough. Dre probably going to take a hit for this. I don't think he's going to go to jail, but he's going to take a big hit for this. And I'd like to see how he weasels his way up out of this because this is a huge deal with all those feds rolling in, with the head of the Jimenez and all that. This is nothing that you can just hide. Like, this is a huge deal. There's gonna be some ramifications, and Dre might have to take an L on this one. So for now, everything looks like it's tied up in a nice little bow, at least as far as the family is concerned. But I will want to pose this to you guys. Do you also feel like we're in a place where nobody is able to trust anybody? I mean, straight up. There are so many people in this show that are keeping secrets from another person for whatever reason, whether they're scared of them or whether they don't know whether to trust them because they might put them in jail or because they might kill them or because they don't want them to know too much information because they don't want them to have more knowledge than them. You know, all kinds of things where it's like, yo, what? Like, there needs, straight up, this show needs a staff meeting. All right, everybody, look, everybody in Ghost family, Tommy, Proctor, not the Teresies, and I'm gonna get back to that in a second. Not the Teresies, but Keisha, they need to have a meeting. All right, they need to all sit down and figure out what are we going to do. All right, because I don't know how you guys feel, but all this misinformation going on, all this sneaking and stuff is just going to get people in more trouble. You know what I'm saying? You need to know what's going on with other people so you don't end up, matter of fact, the whole thing with Proctor going to the FBI and like half snitching, I guess you could say, that is all because he never had the trust or the loyalty, at least the perception of trust or loyalty from Ghost or Tommy. So they need to have a meeting. They need to sit down, figure out what they're doing. Last thing I'll leave you off, I'll drop back with Connie and Keisha. There was a very important statement between those two where Connie was like letting her know like, yo, I don't think you're ready for this. Like, it's a lot more hard than it is easy. And she was dropping some game on it like, look, right now, you at the beginning, your butt need to go. You need to find yourself a good man and get up out of here before next thing you know, you're gonna be in jail. And what happened next day? She got a subpoena. So look, hey, look, it's tough out there in the streets. It's hard for everybody. But stop lying to each other because y'all on the same side so y'all can go in and at least try to protect each other so you don't end up in jail. That's all I'm saying. If you got a crew right now, y'all doing dirt, make sure y'all are on the same page. Have a staff meeting like every Monday or something like that. Keep each other on board of what y'all doing. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to help you out. So guys, before I bounce, I'm going to tell you to holler at me at ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, always check your trunk before you leave the house. Peace.